Investing in gold doesn't have to be complicated. I'm Colin Plume, the CEO of Noble Gold Investments, and I want to take the time to show you how investing in a gold IRA can help you hedge your bets against inflation and other economic concerns on the horizon. Visit Noble Gold Investments and get our free gold investment guide on buying gold the right way. And make sure you're investing with the right company. Visit noblegoldinvestments.com.
Last month, the Texas House and Senate introduced bills for the formation of a state-issued gold-backed digital legal tender. If passed, this proposed legislation would offer a means for people to conduct commerce with sound currency in complete privacy and thereby destabilize the Federal Reserve's money monopoly and provide a feasible substitute to their upcoming central bank digital currency, or CBDC. On March 10th, Senator Bryan Hughes, Republican, presented Senate Bill 2334, and Mark Dorazio, Republican, unveiled a corresponding House Bill 4903 on the same day. The proposed legislation mandates the state comptroller to establish a digital currency wholly supported by gold and entirely exchangeable for cash or gold. Additionally, the comptroller would be tasked with devising a mechanism for the utilization of this gold-backed digital legal tender in everyday transactions. The state of Texas would act as a trustee holding the gold that supports the digital currency on behalf of its holders. Texas would also be responsible for maintaining sufficient gold reserves for the redemption of all unredeemed digital currency units. In practice, individuals could procure digital currency from the state. Texas would then utilize the funds to acquire gold to be securely stored in the Texas Bullion Depository or a comparable vault which offered a high level of transparency. People could redeem their digital currency for dollars or gold at their discretion. A gold-backed digital currency would create an alternative to the CBDCs the Fed is working on, thereby securing the privacy of transactions once again for the common man or woman. The new digital currency would manifest as virtual banknotes stored in a digital wallet on your computer or smartphone. The primary distinction between the Fed's new CBDC and Bitcoin would be that CBDCs would be regulated by the federal government with total transparency for only the government for who was buying what and where. Bitcoin is regulated by a far more decentralized and therefore more democratic group of its largest holders, if at all, and its transactions are much more private, though not perfectly private. Nigeria is currently facing significant resistance in its push for CBDC acceptance. Its residents do not trust it, and they still cling to their old cash-based system. China, India, and the U.S. have all initiated pilot programs to test CBDCs, and you can bet a central bank digital Chinese yuan will feature zero transparency or democratic decentralization. It will be the template for maximum invasion of personal financial privacy. The formation of a state-issued gold-backed digital currency would foster currency competition with Federal Reserve notes, undermining the Fed's money monopoly. Theoretically, gold backing would create a form of money that appreciated in direct proportion as the Fed's currency depreciated thanks to inflation. Such an issuance would, of course, come under constitutional scrutiny and eventually end up in the U.S. Supreme Court. But that could take years to adjudicate, and in the meantime, numerous states may see that the Texas experiment was working and pass similar legislation. At some point, it may be politically difficult for the Supremes to go against a popular, functioning, and much more decentralized monetary system, especially in the coming tough economic times. In broader terms, creating a system of state-based digital precious metals-backed currency, which was just as convenient as paper money or credit card transactions, is probably a more practical improvement over the system, though incomplete, than the U.S. note system for which I have crusaded for these many years. Practically speaking, gaining the political will to implement the debt-free United States note system is very unlikely outside of a total 1929-style economic collapse. Members of Congress under our current system are just too easy to bribe for their vote, and only one class of the wealthy has the quantity of money to win that vote-buying auction. My main argument against precious metals-backed money has been the lack of transparency into what backs the money. That relies heavily on who controls the quantity. Therefore, I could support such a system only if legislators recognize this weakness and decentralize the power over the quantity and quality of gold backing the new money to the maximum possible extent. However, the debt money system is near total worldwide collapse due to massive over-leveraging. Having a reliable precious metals-based alternative for our economy to collapse into could facilitate the issuance of U.S. notes or Texas gold digitals to quickly pay off the national debt on a one-for-one basis. This is probably a much swifter path to economic freedom for the nation and the world as a whole. However, remember, the feds cannot be relied upon because they have lied for decades about the gold, which is no longer in Fort Knox, and incredibly have resisted a real audit of the gold in Fort Knox for decades. Again, my old saying regarding this is, it matters not what backs the money. All that matters is who controls the quantity. If Texas can do it, then God bless them. I'm still reporting from just outside the citadel of world freedom. Good day.